So what is up everyone, welcome back to ID Aviation. Hope all of you are excited for today's video. Now before the video begins, if you'd like, please subscribe to this channel with the notification bell, leave a like on this video and comment below. So yeah, let's begin here with this comparison. First of all, I gotta say this is the Gemini Jets Delta 757, 200 being a 2018 release, and the NG American 757-200 being a 2019 release. So they're pretty close in the release dates. We'll make the comparison more accurate due to the proximity in both of the release dates. So yeah, first here in the general overview of both models, if you look at them, first impressions of both models is really good. Also, if you'd like to view the conclusion on this comparison, please stay until the end of the video. But here we're starting in the general stuff. First impressions are really good for both of them. But now looking at the actual details. So first here, let's put them up close right there. As you can see, the American 757 is slightly lower, which is something really good because the NG landing gear, in my opinion, is more precise in terms of the height and the proportion. And so the Delta landing gear is a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, not that much, but a little bit bigger, especially the main landing gear here in the back. But yeah, the NG is more precise in terms of the proportion, the height of the gear, the height of the plane itself. It's more precise. Delta one from Gemini is a little bit too, it's a little bit tall, but not that much, because you know the detail of both of them, both landing gears is really good. I'm really satisfied with the landing gears. Besides that, the fact that they roll, they don't break, they're really well attached in both of them. So yeah, that's an advantage for both, and a little bit more of an advantage for NG due to the fact that the landing gear is more accurate in height and proportion. So yeah, for that, hit that. And now with the fuselage itself, looking at the Delta Boeing 757 and the NG, here from up the top, as you can see, the NG 757 is a little bit more narrow than the Delta 757. So it's really terms with the mold. The molds are obviously different. The molds are very different from NG and from Gemini. So yeah, that's something that I do give the advantage to Gemini due to the fact that the mold of the fuselage itself, I see it more accurate, more precise than the NG one. The NG one just looks a little bit narrow, but it's still really good. Nothing too bad in terms of the fuselage, the size. You can see NG definitely wins by the landing gear proportion, while Delta wins by the fuselage proportion itself, but really nothing too major though. Looking at the wings as well, the angle of the wings, both of them are really well angled, flat, no excessive wing flex, unnecessary wing flex. The wings, the shape of the wings is really good for both of them. So that's a really good advantage for both. Now looking at the actual wings, how they look like. NG1 looks a bit more detailed. Of course, the wings for American and Delta are different. Something else to note. But yeah, the NG ones are made of better material. And Gemini Jets one, that's another advantage to NG. They look better, more realistic as well. The colors, as you can see, the shiny gray. While Delta ones are different, but the overall, comparing to the specific models themselves, NG1 definitely looks better in terms of the wings, the stabilizers as well, than the Gemini Jets one. So for that being said, looking at the first disadvantage of the NG model is the Wi-Fi box. It is lacking the Wi-Fi box, unlike the real life airplane that has a Wi-Fi box. NG one lacks a Wi-Fi box. Something that Gemini does have a perfect Wi-Fi box there. So yeah, that's a big disadvantage to this NG 757 lacks realism due to lacking a Wi-Fi box. But NG is still a very new company in the model industry. So they've been improving their models and their 757s, now adding Wi-Fi boxes to their models as well. So yeah, that's something not much to worry about either, except for this model in specific lacking the Wi-Fi box, unlike the Gemini Jets model, which has all the complete Wi-Fi box as in real life. Now in terms of the colors, obviously Delta one for being white, much better color, much easier to do as well. So I'd give Gemini Jets the advantage for this one as well. Colors are much better. In the tail, everything is just perfect. NG1, the American Airlines colors, the paint in general looks a little bit too dark. Not a lot, but it does look a little bit too dark. The tail, however, is fantastic. I'm not complaining about that. Now, the colors, as you saw, Gemini is definitely superior. These two models in specific, do not take this comparison as a comparison applying to every single NG and Gemini Jets models. They do change. This one is only for these two in specific 757s. And now looking at the engines, as you know, this American Airlines operates with Rolls-Royce engines, and this Delta operates with Pratt & Whitney engines, so the shapes are different. Both of them really detailed though, I gotta say. Both of them look really good. NG1 looks really good as well. No complaints with that, but one complaint with the NG is the engines. They do move, as you can see there. That's a big minus to the NG. Means that they're not as attached as the Delta 757. So yeah, that's one disadvantage there. NG1 has very flimsy loose engines, while the Gemini 1 does not. But the NG1 does have more detail in the bottom than the Gemini. Not saying that it's a lot of change either, but it does have more detail. It does have a little bit more details than the Delta one doesn't have in general. Here, let me flip them back again. So yeah, cockpit windows looks a little bit better on the NG. Did a really good job, but the Gemini one is still perfect. Not complaining about it. So look, I just overviewed some very general aspects here. Hope you enjoyed. Now my final conclusions is, look, the Gemini one is perfect, on point. NG1 is also really good. Needs a little bit of improvement due to the fact that 757s, NG still improving on them over time, but yeah, still needs a little bit improvement. Gemini 1 is fantastic, a little bit tall, but nothing too bad. So conclusion is, go for whichever one you'd like. Both of them are excellent. Gemini and NG completely nailed it. More current releases for NG are better as well. So yeah, hope you learned something useful from this. Also have to say that Delta 1 is a little bit cheaper, $10 cheaper actually. So Gemini 757s are cheaper, so you might want to go for those for the price, because they are so very detailed. Gemini has a very worthy 757 mold, a very good one. unlike other molds that they have. NG1 is very new, so it's still improving, but I'd say it's also really worth getting. Both of them are amazing. So yeah, it's up to you in the end. Both are perfect. Defects, of course, here and there, but nothing too bad. So yeah, see you in another video. I hope you really enjoyed, and yeah, enjoy your day.